Hi, welcome to our presentation on finding part-time employment through the College of Charleston. My name is Cheryl and I'm the Student Employment Coordinator in the Career Center. We hope you find this presentation informative on finding part-time jobs both on and off campus through the College of Charleston's Career Center. The Career Center is your go-to for all your career-related resources. We're located in Lightsey Center, the same building where the bookstore is located. We're on the second floor above the bookstore. You can schedule an appointment to meet with one of us by going to our homepage or by going to Appointment Manager, or you can come in for drop-ins from 3 to 5 p.m. in the afternoons and speak with a peer career advisor. When you do interact with the Career Center, you'll find a smiling face and the expertise you need. Whether you're inquiring about graduate schools, internships, careers, or student employment, you will be greeted with a smile and receive the assistance that you need. If you're a student employee, you'll interact most likely with Cheryl, Hannah, or Amy. In addition to finding part-time jobs, the Career Center can also help you with career planning and exploration, choosing a major, locating internship and experiential learning opportunities, critiquing your resume and your cover letter, or helping you get started on the first one, mock interviews, job search strategies, networking and LinkedIn, and graduate school information. There are many benefits to part-time work. Not only will you gain different experiences, but you'll also develop those transferable skills that employers are looking for. You'll also learn career readiness competencies and professionalism, build a network of people to talk to when looking for the next job or internship, and hopefully you'll create some financial independence. There are things to consider before applying for part-time work. You'll want to think about what is your interest? What might you want to find a job in later on that you could start building experience now? How many hours do you actually have available out of your schedule to work? You know, they say it takes 2 hours of work outside of 1 hour of classwork just to get good grades. Your skills. What do you currently have and what skills would you like to develop? And then, of course, a resume. Do you have one yet? The next things to consider would be, do I want to work on campus or off campus? There are some pros and cons. Obviously, being on campus allows for you to be closer to your job, and there may be some flexibility with the understanding that you are a student and you have classes during the day or the evening. Off-campus jobs are great too. They can offer a wider variety of experiences possibly than you could get in on-campus jobs. However, they may not be able to be as flexible with your schedule and your classes. That is certainly something you would want to consider when applying for a job, and it would be something you want to inquire about when you are applying and interviewing for a new job. When considering an on-campus job, there are two different types of on-campus part-time positions. One is called a non-work study position. The other is the federal work study position. While the jobs may be the same in both areas, the federal work study positions would require that a student is eligible for the federal work study funds. That would be something that a student would apply for on their FAFSA, and they would learn sometime after applying whether they were eligible for the federal work study funds. Conversely, the non-work study funds would be institutional funding, and so the department would be paying 100% of the funds, or a grant perhaps would be paying 100%. Whereas with the federal work study funds, the federal government is actually assisting with paying the wages for the student. Both kinds of jobs are pretty much available in all of the departments. If you do have federal work study, make sure you mention it when applying. However, a federal work study student can get a non-work study job, but they may only hold one federal work study job at a time. We have many departments across campus who hire students, non-work study and federal work study students. Some of our larger hiring departments include the Center for Student Learning and Center for Excellence in Peer Education. For example, tutoring and leading classes, our residence life area, which would include resident assistants and desk assistants, our fitness center, campus recreation, our library, our Office of Student Life, the Student Media Board, and geology, computer science, theater and dance, admissions. These are just some of the departments that hire student employees on campus. When we talk about on-campus positions at the college, we are very pleased that we can offer the large number of jobs that we do. We usually have anywhere from 1,000 to 1,250 students employed, 700 to 800 new ones each year, and then they may get subsequent positions during their 4 years here. When they graduate, we find that about 25% of our students have actually held at least one on-campus part-time job. We pay out over $5 million in payroll annually to student employees and graduate assistants. Approximately 175 or more departments employ students, and the average hours per week that they work is usually around 20. Some more, some less. The college really appreciates our student employees. One of the ways that we show our appreciation is by participating in National Student Employment Week, which occurs every year in about the second week of April. During this time, we recognize our student employees, sometimes with goodie bags, sometimes with social media campaigns. Some years we've had a Student Employee of the Year award with a very nice reception for the nominees of the award. This year we put together a media campaign and tried to get pictures of many of our student employees, and we've shown some pictures here. We were able to do some raffles and give away some nice prizes to the students who participated. So where do you find these part-time jobs, you may be asking yourself? Handshake is our job board for on-campus positions, off-campus positions, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, and internships. Employers post jobs on Handshake, and specifically for College of Charleston students. Most of our on-campus employers post jobs there as well. You can search for the positions on there and apply through Handshake with your resume and cover letter or resume, or by filling out the application that the employer has put on Handshake. Handshake is available to new incoming students at approximately the drop-add period, which is about a week after classes begin. You can join Handshake through your Resources tab on My Charleston, through your Services tab, or by going to CofCjoinhandshake.com. You'll have a profile to fill out, and you'll be able to start searching for jobs. If you have questions and need assistance with Handshake, the Career Center is at your service. You can make an appointment or come in for drop-ins for assistance. But I think you'll find that it's pretty user-friendly and intuitive. I mentioned our website for the Join Handshake link, but we also have lots of other resources there, and there are also other resources to find jobs. Checking directly with the departments where you would like to work is certainly one option. Finding out about jobs by following us on our social media at Career CofC. Coming to meet with an advisor to help you look in Handshake is another option, or attending one of our career fairs. So there are different resources that we have for locating jobs, applying for jobs, and snagging the job that you want. So you've gotten to the point where you've applied for a job, either directly to a department or through Handshake. You've interviewed for the job, and you've been offered the job on campus. What happens next? You'll receive an email from a member of Student Employment with instructions on how to complete an orientation and the documentation required. That email will outline the paperwork that's needed, and will also ask you about your identity documents that you'll need to bring in person. You'll learn about policies and procedures through a recorded orientation that will be sent to you. And finally, after all of the steps are completed, you'll be authorized to work. If you find a job on campus, we do have required documents that we need to see in order for you to be able to start working. Many of the other employers that you will want to work with outside of the college will also most likely require certain things. So when you are coming to campus, make sure that you let your parents know that you may at one point need the original passport that you have, or your driver's license, which most of you carry, but also your Social Security card and or a birth certificate or certified copy of a birth certificate. The government says we need to see the originals, and sometimes this is a real sticky point, and this is what holds students back from being able to start their jobs right away. We do send a packet to any student who is hired on campus, and we let them know what they need to begin working. And sometimes it takes a little longer if you do have to wait for someone to mail you these IDs, or to go home if you're an hour away to get the IDs. But unfortunately, we are not able to allow you to start without seeing originals. We also require you to fill out a federal estate tax form, as well as a direct deposit agreement with the bank. Any pay that you receive for part-time jobs at the college is always direct deposited into your bank account. I'm sure there are lots of questions that you have. We've added a few of the most frequently asked questions to the slideshow. One of the most often asked questions by Federal Work Study students, and also some other students, is, well, if I come to you, can you place me in an on-campus job? But we do not place students. We do provide opportunities, and it is up to you to apply for the positions of interest. Another question would be, will my paycheck automatically go toward my tuition or room and board? No, your pay will go into your bank account, and you may pay your tuition with it if you like, but the pay does go to you. Why would I want to have federal work study? What's the benefit? Federal work study is a form of need-based aid that can replace or reduce your non-based aid. However, it does not apply to tuition. Again, with the federal work study position, you would be paid directly, and if you wanted to apply that toward tuition, that would be up to you. And then, of course, how do I know if I'm eligible for federal work study? The Office of Financial Assistance will notify you via your campus email during the summer if you are eligible for the upcoming year. If you did not request federal work study funding on your FAFSA, you'll need to contact the financial aid office when you come to campus or beforehand and ask them if you're eligible and see if there are any funds left if you are eligible. I hope that you've enjoyed and learned something from our presentation. You may have more questions, and if you do, you certainly may direct those questions to student employment, one word, at cofc.edu. For questions relating to federal work study and financial aid, please send your questions to the financial aid office. Hope you continue to enjoy the rest of your summer, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall. Thank you.